Hi everybody, Green Teresa here with starting a ReFashion Revolution, I hope. And today I'm going to talk about ReFashion for the home sewer. And my little dog is here bugging me. Mushroom, cut it out. Anyway, I'm talking about ReFashion for the home sewer. Why would you, as a person who sews, want to use cast off clothes instead of just going to the store, going to the fabric store and taking the traditional route, which is you get a pattern, you find you buy yardage that you need, you get interfacing, you pick out some thread, zippers, buttons, you get it. Well, I'm going to talk today about why ReFashion is a good thing to do if you want to do fast fashion, fast ReFashion, fast sewing, really, fast fashion. Of course, the fastest thing to do is just to go buy something and put it on. That seems pretty fast. And if you want to sew and you don't want to spend all that time, let me show you an example. I have some very commonly found garments here, and I'm going to talk about each one really fast and why this is good for someone who just wants to sew their own clothes. Well, first of all, how beautiful is this? You can find, this is just a button-down shirt that has some amazing applique and hand embroidery. This is actually probably pretty old. It might even qualify as vintage, but it's beautiful. Do you know how long it would take you to sew that down? If you can, if you have the skills even, that's very time consuming. So if you're looking to save time with your sewing, whether you're sewing for yourself or you want to sew for your kids or however that works out, there are a lot of different styles for absolutely everybody, I promise. Everybody. There's a ReFashion style that you would wear. You would wear it. So here's one reason is you can find really beautiful handwork sometimes if you get it, whether you get it in a thrift store, yard sale, or wherever it is. Don't forget, a lot of this stuff is getting thrown in the trash. People don't want it, they toss it. Goes to the thrift store, it doesn't get sold. Most of that does not get sold in their retail stores. That's a discussion for another time. So one of the reasons is you can find really beautiful detailed work and use that in your ReFashion. Another reason is, has anybody here ever made a long-sleeved button shirt with a two-part collar? Now this is white. I'm not sure you could see this as well. Let me take this one. Look at all the details. If you had to sew this from scratch, which means traditional way where I go and I buy myself a pattern, buy the yardage, then I have to take it home, I have to iron the pattern, cut the pieces out, flatten them out, find a place to throw out, well, at least 2.5 yards of material with this guy here. And it's going to be you're going to spend a couple of hours just getting ready to sew, just getting ready. Guess what? We're all very busy. People have a lot going on, whether you have a family to take care of, whether you have a job or 2 or 3, trying to pay the rent, a lot of things going on, but you still like to sew. But you can get something really neat, and what you want to do is use the parts that someone else already sewed this collar. You can put this collar on something else and sew it. You need buttons? Hack that off. You can put the buttons on something else. I also have look at, there's a lot of fabric in here. There's a lot of fabric in the sleeve. This is a big shirt. I have a cuff that's already been sewn. There are ways to use these design elements in your new garment, but you don't have to sew it. This is time consuming to sew the cuff, buttons, buttonholes, placket, pleats. That's very time consuming. So what you're doing is you're using the design elements on these garments that are already done. They're already done. So we have 2 reasons. 1, you can find stuff really beautiful. 2, the design elements on a button shirt. You have a collar, you have the buttons. If it's a long sleeve, you have a cuff. You also have a finished hem. The hem is finished. If you want a finished hem, use it. There are lots of different ways to do that. And I have, that was an all cotton shirt. Here I have a white one. This is linen, folks. 100% linen. You can use the collar. You can use the buttons. It's already been done. Again, we have cuffs. This is a beautiful fabric. Also, linen is very easy to dye, work with. And I've got a couple of other button shirts here. These are short sleeved ones. Again, there's a collar. These are more casual. It's just, there's a little collar, short sleeves, beautiful fabric. That's another reason. Beautiful fabric. Here's another one. I really love this top. I may make it into something else. It doesn't quite fit me right. I can alter it, but look at that. I can alter this a little bit so it fits me. It's a little bit too small. You can see it's kind of a crop top. I can sew something else onto the bottom and make myself a dress. I can alter the sleeves so they look more girly, but I don't have to go through that whole thing. I don't have to sew a collar. This one has a yoke across the back. What is that? That's just interest. You don't have to have yokes and collars and stuff, but it's already been done. Someone already made those buttonholes. That's a really good reason for a home sewer who doesn't have a lot of time to use unclaimed fabrics. Okay, let's move on. T-shirts. Okay, we all know there's no shortage of tossed t-shirts. And a lot of times, there's nothing wrong with them. You may have a t-shirt that you've worn to death. It's got holes. Hey, if you can repair it, you can wear it. That's what I say. What do I have here? I have a t-shirt. It's got some sort of, I think this was for pet food. But just step away from that for a minute. Let's see what parts of this t-shirt we can use. Any t-shirt. It's got a finished neckline. If you want something with a finished neckline, there it is. It's already done. It's got sleeves sewn into it. If you want to use the top of this for something, I could even cut it off so that you're not seeing that brand name there. Use the top. I can use the sleeves, add to them, alter them, but what I don't have to do is sew the top of my shirt. Sleeves are set in. It's got side seams. It's got a finished neck. Now, if I don't like this neck, I can certainly change it. Look at that beautiful color. Look at those colors. If you don't want to use this, you can always just cut these up and use the fabric. There are plenty of ways, we'll talk about those another time, that you can use that. What's another t-shirt? Here's a very plain gray t-shirt. Oh, look, it's got a little thing here. Cover it up with a pocket. I can cover that with a pocket or a flower. Now I have the base for something. It's got stuff on the back. You know what I can do? I can just cut that whole thing out and sew another piece of fabric in there. But what I don't have to do, I don't have to finish a neckline, I don't have to set in sleeves, I don't have to hem the sleeves. This is already done. There are ways that you can take the hem in a t-shirt, cut it out, and use it as a casing. Use it as a casing. That's something that will hold elastic, something that will hold a drawstring, and then you can use that somewhere else. You could use it around the neck. You could use it around the waist. I know I'm going fast. We'll go into details another time. We're talking right now about why the home sewer who doesn't have a lot of time but has a lot of creativity wants to use ReFashion clothing. Okay, more t-shirts, same thing. This is a plain t-shirt. If you don't want to wear it as a plain t-shirt, you can use it as a base. This one is it's a very soft t-shirt. I could use it as a top. I can use the t-shirt, or just the fabric is very nice. If you have very nice fabric, that's a little bit not on topic of doing it fast. Okay, here's a very, very old t-shirt. This is mine. This old t-shirt, I probably can't wear it anymore, but I could make this bigger. The back is plain. I can add something to the back, which is really simple to do. Really simple to do. You can add something to the back. I could keep the sleeves, or I could cut them off. Again, I don't have to finish the neckline. I've got a really cute graphic on here. If I want to use the graphic somewhere else, I could just cut it off and use it as part of a skirt. I could use it as part of a yoke on something. Pre-made printing, which is really fun. Again, here's another one. Nice t-shirt. Oh, I had an idea for this one. I'm going to cut out these blocks, which are already made. This was a silk screen or something. I can cut these out and use them on something else. They're very nice. You can use what you got, folks. Use what you got. let's see. And this is not a t-shirt, but just to keep your mind open a little bit, this is a kind of a mock turtleneck. If you like turtlenecks, you can keep the turtleneck. You can keep this, here, I can't see that very well. Yeah, it's black, what can I say? It's a little fake turtleneck here, and it's about the weight of a heavy t-shirt. So you can combine this with, I could combine this with my keyboard t-shirt and make myself a tunic. It's got long sleeves with a cuff that is finished. Again, we're talking about speed right now, so if you want something with a finished cuff, this is a perfect foil for whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do. You can sew something onto the front. I could have taken these motifs off of here, cut them up, sew them on the front. It would be fast and it would be different. And like I said, there are many, many ways that you can refashion and alter this, but if you want to go fast, take something that's already sewn, the sleeves. Even if you don't want the turtle and you cut out the neckline, the sleeves are already sewn in. They're already sewn in. It's a nice machine stitching. Use that part. Make something else. That's what refashion is. Last t-shirt, beautiful colors. Look at this. Yes, it's got something on it. It's got a cute little sandwich, Hoagie Fest. Look at that. It's got a cute little graphic on the back. There are lots of ways you can use that. It's already done for you. Okay, let's move on to sweaters. Sweaters are wonderful. What are the parts of sweaters that we can use? Again, there's a finished neckline. If you don't want to, you can make this into a dress, folks. You can make this into a dress or a tunic. If it's too wide, it's very easy to alter the size. We'll talk more about that. But what you have is you have a finished neckline. You can add something to the neckline. You can add, what color is this? This is navy blue and gray and white. You can take something that color or another color and you can add a little bit of color around the neckline. You can add a little bit of color on the sleeve. We have a long sleeve. It's already set in. You don't have to sew this. That's why it's fast. You don't have to do anything. This is finished. Of course, when we talk more about refashion, you can alter any of these pieces. That's what refashion is, really altering. But when you take something that is already partially done for you, here's a little turtleneck, beautiful yellow sleeve finished. You can keep the neckline or you can cut the turtleneck out and use it for something else. It's sewn. These sleeves are set into the top, sew something to the bottom, make it into another piece. Okay, the last thing I'm going to talk about, I'm trying to go fast here, is our good old friends blue jeans. No lack again of blue jeans sitting around with no home. This is a really good example of what we can use that's already been sewn that would be very time consuming to duplicate. So if you like the waistband, the button loops, the 5 pockets, yep, this is 5 pocket jeans, 1, 2, 3, and 2 in the back, 5 pocket jeans. If you like all of that, if you like the flat fell seams, this is called a flat fell seam, it's done. What's really fun to do with the jeans, can you alter jeans and make them wearable for you? Yes. Can you cut off the bottom and put something else on there? Yes. What's really fun is when you just take that top part of the jeans and then you can make this into either another pair of jeans or a skirt. Now I have some super shreddy jeans here. These will need to have some holes repaired before they are actually wearable. You can see this if you go to my website, the first picture, greenteresa.com. Go to my website and this has a featured role in my website because I actually love the shreddy thready stuff. So all we need to do with this one, we can patch, do some sort of creative patching for this hole. I like this part, so I will patch it on the inside. And then all I need to do really is sew something to the bottom and make myself a skirt. I love this ReFashion. It doesn't have to be the shreddy one. You can take a beautiful, unshredded, new looking pair of jeans. See, I already altered this one in the waist. I did my my quick and dirty ReFashion, my funky ReFashion here. It's got buttons. So all I would do with this is I'm going to go through and look at anything that has an actual hole in it and fix that. Or look at maybe some places that are needing a little stabilization. It's going to be a hole or going to rip. But how much time have I saved by not having to cut out every one of these pieces to do the flat fell seams, which, by the way, these are done on industrial machines. You can do it, but you need to have a machine that can handle it. Look at all this seaming. Look at the yoke in the back. The shreds are a bonus. Look at the pockets. That would take you so much time. So by taking this and refashioning it, you've saved a lot of time. And what do you get? You get something with a lot of character to it. You could sew something on the bottom and even make it into another pair of pants if you want. It doesn't have to be a skirt. It can be a mini skirt. You can just sew ruffles along the bottom. Woohoo, that's pretty short. Or you can, for me, I'm going to go longer. You wear whatever you want. But that's, see, think of the time that you've saved. What you get is you get a piece of clothing that has a lot of character and you didn't spend a lot of time on it. If you have more time and you want to do some embellishing, you want to sew ribbons, you want to do embroidery, you can do all that. You can do all that. You can do something completely different. Look at this. This is one of my grocery bags. See, I could have made this off of the legs of the one that I cut, right? It's not the same one, but I could have. I go to the grocery store. Every time I go to the grocery store, I get compliments on my bag. Here's another little pair that black. I cut it off. I actually used the legs on these to make a really big, gnarly denim skirt with a train on it. Didn't really plan it that way, but you know, that's how things go sometimes. You can see that one on Pinterest, Green Teresa on Pinterest, or maybe on Facebook's Green Teresa. Look there. So I think we've gone through everything I wanted to talk about, which is ReFashion for the home sewer, why you can get clothes with a lot of character where you didn't have to sew all those details in. Next time, we're going to talk about another reason that you can do ReFashion, why you might want to do ReFashion. But I will save that as a surprise. Meanwhile, you can look at my Facebook page, Green Teresa, on Facebook. You can go to my website, which is a work in progress. It's greenteresa.com, and I really look forward to talking to you again very, very soon. Have a wonderful day. Bye now.